Melissa, we are live on the internet. Did you ever think this day would come?
The big leagues. They're gonna put my name in the paper.
Right. When you were young, what did you think the internet would be? Like when you were like, man, we can get that disc that has America Online on that thing. What did you envision the internet to be?
It was where I emailed my aunt.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the first things I did on the internet. I went over to a friend's house, and his dad was some sort of a computer. I don't know if he did computers professionally or just as a hobby, but his basement had 3 computers in it. We would just play on the computers.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. And they showed me some Pokemon fan sites. So I think at like age 10 or 11, that's what I thought the internet was.
Pokemon fan sites.
It was pictures of Team Rocket, and I think that is still what it is.
that makes sense for you.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
All I wanted. Oh, and we found a text to speech generator that was a riot. That was the biggest treat in the world for a bunch of 5th graders. The height of comedy, making like a stiff robotic voice say butts.
Nice. I would still laugh at that too.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like, it said butts.
Humans have those, robots don't.
We got them, they won them.
This is the source of the war.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 107 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined, as always, by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm pink.
Getting by?
Yeah, getting by, getting pink.
That's okay. I am white in more than one sense of the word.
I had to take your word for it. I can't see you.
Yeah, I'm still working on getting the camera. I am almost there, saving up on all of that stuff. I just got paid today, so that helped out a ton to put some of that money to the side and be like, this is going in the camera fund.
Good.
But yeah, so good stuff. This week went by really fast.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because I felt like the 2 weeks before it went by so slow, and it just like it wouldn't end. I'm still not sleeping great. I'm still not getting the best sleep, like maybe 5 hours, 6 at the most. So it's like it's enough to get by, and I'm not like super exhausted, but it's just like I'm still just like ugh. But for some reason, this week went by really fast, and today I feel really good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, a good feeling to like feel awake and alert and just like I am totally present, and I'm not just like mindless zombie that doesn't want to do anything.
Oh man, I wish I knew how to do that. I sleep well. That's something I've always been fortunate to have. I sleep pretty easy. I can get a full 8 hours of sleep, wake up at a 7, not too early, a decent time, sit down at my desk, and I still can't stop yawning. Yeah, so I'm a kind of a coffee fiend over here. I'm scared about what I'll be like if I don't have coffee. I've tried it a little bit. So I know I theoretically could do it, but it seems like too much of a risk.
Like I started to theorize that my lack of sleep is because I now have too much energy, and I'm not I was never one for actual exercise, but I had to walk to the bus stop. I had to walk home from the bus stop, which was a good 10-minute walk. It's actually a good distance. And then I would often carry all my groceries home since I don't have a car, so I have like my backpack full, I have my arms full of stuff, so I got like good exercise to like walk all the way to the grocery store and all the way back, and then catch the bus home and stuff like that. And I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if my body has just like built up this like extra energy of just like, well, like you need to get this out somehow. But I don't know.
So stay
Bodies
up
are
until
weird.
2 a.m. because you can't
2?
carry around a bag
2?
of frozen pizzas.
2 is child's play, Melissa.
What is your normal bedtime?
Normally, I would say around like 1:30 or 2.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, and then I would get up at like 9:30-ish.
Huh.
But I like, that's the thing. I used to be fairly good at like, once it was time for bed, I would fall asleep pretty much right away, or would do something that would make me fall asleep. But that's just not happening now, and it's like, well, it's 4:35 and I'm still awake, so I don't know. But that means I have been cruising through Lucifer. I finished season 3 today. So I have season 4, which is only 10 episodes. It's a short one. Season 2 and 3 were like 24 and 26.
Whoa.
Yeah, they were long ones. And then season 4 is only 10, and then I guess part 1 of season 5 is coming at the end of this week. In about 1 week, I think. Next Friday is when it happens. So good stuff. But yeah, I've been watching that. I've officially started a Gundam rewatch of like all the like main timeline stuff of just like, you know what, I'm gonna do this again and watch all of these and watch all the new things that I haven't seen yet.
So I guess you'll finish that in like 2023?
Maybe, yeah.
How much Gundam is there? It feels like there's a lot of Gundam to me, but like I sincerely don't know.
So I think 2019 was the 40th anniversary of Gundam. It started in 1979. Mobile Suit Gundam. That was the original thing. Yeah, and they've been going since then. They've made all sorts of shows. I've been talking to a couple people about it recently, and it's kind of ironic because the shows are definitely of like usually very anti-war sentiments and stuff of just like, war is bad, weapons of mass destruction are bad, look at all the trouble it causes, look at the families that it tears apart and stuff like that. And yet they've also spawned like a giant toy empire where it's just like, look at these cool robots. And now they also have Gundam TV shows that are about the toy robots.
What?
Like they have Gundam shows that are about them building the models and then like fighting the models.
Oh, like battle bots?
Yeah, or like Beyblades or
Angelic Layer.
Like that. Yeah. So they have all sorts of stuff like that. But yeah, there's a ton of Gundam shows. They're not all connected, but there's a good handful or two that are connected. And they have like one main timeline, the Universal Century timeline. So that is all the stuff that I am starting to watch.
Yeah.
Or rewatch, because I've seen most of it. But good stuff. So
okay. I googled myself a list. We have the included series in the Universal Century canon of Gundam.
Okay.
MS Igloo.
Yep.
Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yep.
The 8th MS Team.
Yep.
080 War in the Pocket.
Yep.
083 Stardust Memory. Zeta Gundam. Gundam ZZ, which is the one where
Double
I guess
Zeta.
the Gundams all had like really long beards and they spun their guitars around on their belt buckles.
It's a good
Char's
homage
Counterattack.
to ZZ Top.
Yeah. Gundam Unicorn, which sounds like the one for me. Gundam F91, Crossbone Gundam, which I guess is...
I think that one's a manga, right? Does that one say?
Oh, the list isn't specifying anime and manga. It's just like a list of titles.
Gotcha.
Victory Gundam, G Savior, and Turn A Gundam.
Okay, so that's 13 of them. There are a couple movies scattered in there as well that list did not mention. That might be an older list, which is why. Like, I've seen all of those except Crossbone, which I believe is a manga that hasn't come out in English yet.
Yeah, that's the one where they're all on a pirate ship, right?
For all I know, sure. But yeah, there's a couple new things that are in there as well, but I've seen all of those ones. And then did that one list G Savior?
Yes.
Okay, that one I have not seen because that one is notoriously awful. It is live action, and it is like the only live action thing in the Gundam universe. And yeah, they were like, this is just terrible. So.
Kyle, we need to do a special episode where we talk only about illustrations of the Gundam Wing Boys where they look like a boy band. No other parts about Gundam. Right. I only want to talk about those outfits and like the poses. That's all we're going to do for an hour.
Exactly. It'll be great. If Gundam was a boy band.
As far as I can tell, it is.
Exactly.
Speaking of Japanese entertainment, Kyle.
Yes.
So one of the journals I work on is a journal of dance arts.
Okay.
And somebody submitted a manuscript this week.
I have done the dance arts once in my life.
You have. Perhaps you've been covered in this journal.
Story of my life.
And somebody submitted a paper this week about this Japanese theater company called the Takarazuka Review, which I'd heard of before. It's an all-female theater troupe. And it's been there for decades, maybe longer than that. Like, it has this huge following in Japan, all female performers. They do a variety of shows. They play all the male roles themselves and like makeup and everything is kind of a counterpoint to Kabuki, which had zero female performers.
Which is the exact opposite, where it's all men and they played all the female roles and stuff like that too. So So there's this theater company that does all lady shows. And I think I'd heard about them doing a production of Guys and Dolls that was supposed to be really good. It's a fun show to begin with, but the idea of it being performed by a bunch of Japanese women, some in a lot of like big manly suits, sounded very entertaining to me. I'm like, this stuff sounds great. And I forgot about that thing for a while until we got this paper about it this week. And it's talking about a new original show that this theater company has put on that is a musical adaptation of Ocean's 11. Whoa.
Right? Kyle, I had hidden it from you earlier, but I'm putting a link in our Google Doc now.
Ah, yeah. Because you have here in our like doc of notes and stuff like that. I learned about the best musical this week, and I was just like, okay, this is going to be something that I don't know about that Melissa will talk about, and I will try and interview her on. This sounds amazing, though.
There's just a couple pictures here on the website, and it's all in Japanese. The only thing in English is the copyright statement saying Ocean's 11 and all related characters and elements are trademarks of Warner Brothers Entertainment. But there's a poster there.
And this lady definitely looks like George Clooney. It's specifically the 2001 George Clooney Ocean's 11. They're not caring about the Frank Sinatra version.
That's amazing. What is that next one? They have a bunch of like character photos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
we're showing them on the YouTube version. So if you guys are
Look at these
online, yeah, you guys can check them out. This looks like a hell of a lot of fun.
Right? There's like big ensemble numbers in there. It's a big cast to begin with. It is 11 people plus Julia Roberts, Andy Garcia, and maybe some others. I saw this movie once.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's all in Japanese.
I want to see this. It's apparently a
big hit over there.
It has to be on YouTube or something.
Right. I should have gone to like look up a video of it. Instead, all I got was like this page that I found linked in this manuscript.
Amazing.
Yeah. I hope this gets successful and there's like an American adaptation of it.
That would be good.
This has brightened my entire week to know that this exists.
Like I want to know what the songs are like. Like what what is the like style of the songs? Are they like jazzy? Are they big show tunes? Are like what are they?
I don't know. I'll look further into it, I guess.
Yeah. Interesting.
I just had some cursory facts for you to begin with.
An Ocean's 11 musical, man.
Mm-hmm.
Marina is in the chat. Hello, Marina. How are you?
Oh, hello, a new friend.
Yeah, exactly. So it's similar in style. I think it was. No, I think I did that one by myself. I think I did Castle of Cagliostro.
Yes,
on my own.
I have seen it though.
Okay, so there was a Lupin the Third animated movie that I saw the trailer for when it came out, but it was the CGI one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that. Did that already come out? I think it did, and I missed it.
I don't know.
Apparently, Marina is Jack. She's duped us all.
Ah!
We've been hoodwinked.
Dual identities.
What's up, Jack?
Hi.
Yeah, because I was reminded of it recently, and I saw a GIF of it, and I was just like, man, I was so excited for that, and I like just didn't hear anything about it, but I don't know if it ever came out.
So the movie is confusingly called Lupin the Third, the First.
Yeah, because there is that, like, that's kind of what they named that first show as well.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
It came out last year. I'm trying to find out where I can watch this.
I would love to see it because the art style looked incredible and the animation looked top notch. Because I think that would be fun. I'll have to find a link at some point. But yeah, good stuff. Thanks for reminding me of that too. That just like solidifies it of like I need to go watch that now.
Among the world's two greatest suit wearing sneaky men, Lupin the Third, Danny Ocean.
Yeah. If you could make an Avengers but of thieves, who would be on your team?
Okay, not a thief of physical objects, but a thief of secrets. I want Harriet the Spy.
Okay, good.
It's Team Rocket, as previously mentioned.
Okay, yeah.
All three of them. I don't know how many slots I get, but three individual ones are taken up by Team Rocket.
Maybe around 5 or 6.
Okay, all right.
Ish.
I need a sensible adult.
I mean, I was just gonna assume that Harriet was in charge.
Right. It's a 10-year-old Michelle Trachtenberg. She's the boss. Oh, I want the Hamburglar.
Yes. Okay. Good.
I'm gonna have to think on this. Who do you have?
So to add to that, I think I would put Lupin in there. I think I would also put Gambit from the X-Men. From the Thieves Guild.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
He would be wonderful on that. What are some good like women that are thieves?
Catwoman.
Catwoman is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, she would be good on there. I feel like she'd be the loner, and she would be the one that Gambit was pining after the entire time.
Yeah,
and then Harry gets stuck with
there's
Team
so
Rocket,
many varieties
the
of
Hamburglar.
I want to ask you, there's so many varieties of Catwoman. Which one are you picturing?
Ooh, I don't know.
Can we have a team that's only Catwomen?
Sure.
Yeah, the all
Felicia
the
Hardy,
Catwoman team.
Black Cat, put her on there.
Oh, sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
That works. I don't know. There's a couple good versions of Catwoman. There's the like Michelle Pfeiffer one.
Did the audio cut out, or did you just call her only Michelle Pfeiffer?
Oh, I mean Michelle Pfeiffer. I don't know. You know I'm bad with names. It just happens. I'm just like, sure, Michelle Pfeiffer. That's her name. That's
I thought you were
it.
just being chummy. Like, no, I don't need that final syllable. We're
Good old
close
Michelle
friends.
Pfeiffer. I don't need
Oh,
the R.
Fife.
Good old Pfeiffer. Her and Barney Pfeiffer. What if it's like a Freaky Friday situation where Michelle Pfeiffer and Michelle Pfeiffer and Barney Pfeiffer switch places?
God, I need the oh my, just Don Knotts in the Catwoman suit.
Yeah. Gold, Jerry, gold. That would be hilarious.
Oh, there's a storm coming, Mr. Wayne. Separate Catwoman, but you know, I can't remember anything the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman said. I haven't seen that one in a while.
She just he's just licking Batman's face.
Halfway through the movie, he gets turned into a cartoon fish.
Yeah. Then Jack says Marty McFlyfer. Good. Great addition.
Let's put everyone in the cat suit.
Oh man, good stuff.
Mm.
So let's see. I wanted to ask you last week about tornadoes. So you are out in the Midwest. Are tornadoes a thing for you?
Yes, they happen. I've never seen one. I've never been in direct danger of one. But I think a couple years ago, one touched
you
down.
believe in them, right?
Right.
You've never seen them.
I mean, I don't understand why the Wizard of Oz would lie to me. I think, God, I was in like high school or college. A tornado touched down like 10 minutes from my house.
Okay.
Like between my house and like my high school, there were a couple houses that had some damage.
So
but
maybe every once in a while, but it's not really a threat specifically where you are.
I'd say we get a tornado warning like once a summer at least.
Okay.
We're close enough to it. Yeah.
An annual event.
Right. Yes. Much like the Macy's parade.
Yeah. I was gonna say some like annual car sale or something like, come on down to Nissan's summer event.
There was a
Go ahead.
No, it's really mundane. I just remembered when I was a kid, there was a really bad hailstorm. And so
Okay.
the car dealerships had like hailstorm sales for weeks after that. Like, this car's real dinged up, but we'll give it to you for cheap.
A real hole in one. Because any car you get, there'll be a hole in one.
God, there was hail like the size of your fist.
That's wild. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you that because this past week, like the past 2 weeks, really, it's been really rainy where we are. And apparently last week we were getting the tail end of a hurricane. Some kind of tropical storm. I don't remember what it was named or stuff like that. We didn't get it all that bad. But yeah, we don't have tornadoes where we are, but we do get hurricanes every now and then. Usually it's not bad where I am, because they'll usually come in closer to Florida, and once they hit land, they slow down, and they'll go up north. So by the time they reach us, they kind of disappear, or they circle back out at like North or South Carolina. So it's like we get a rainstorm. That's about it. But I've been in like Virginia Beach when we've been in a hurricane. And it's pretty wild to see how strong the winds can get.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But yeah, so supposedly we caught the tail end of a hurricane past week. So that's why I was curious if you had been affected by a tornado.
No. When I was like 7 or 8 years old, we had a really bad thunderstorm. And there was this house, several houses behind ours on the block that had this huge tree. And I've been meaning to ask my parents about this because this seemed like the tallest thing in the world to me when I was 7 or 8.
Sure.
And like, how many tall things had I seen? I don't think that was a real... I think I was overjudging the thing. But after the storm hit, that tree fell down, and this was like 3 or 4 yards back, and it crashed into our yard.
Oh, man.
And it destroyed the shed we just built.
That sucks.
And last week, public service announcement for the people. Use a surge protector on everything you own, because we had a bad thunderstorm last weekend and it knocked out like half of my parents' possessions.
Oh, no. That's no good.
That big 60-inch TV, the little TV they have in the dining room.
Lucifer, no more DVR marathons.
Right. Like, I asked my brother, like, is the DVR safe? Because it fried too. Both of the DVRs fried. The Roku fried. They're electronic, they have these recliners that are, I guess, electrically powered. Like, it's the kind like in a movie theater where you press the button and it like eases you back and forward.
Robot
Those
chairs.
things shot, fried.
We have butts, they want
chairs. They're good chairs, but apparently if a bad enough storm rolls through, it'll just decimate them.
Yeah.
Like, half of their stuff is like just out.
Wow. I've heard of that happening. I've seen like pictures and stuff online because I've bought in surge protectors and stuff, and I know, but buying things online, especially on online marketplaces and stuff where you have so many options, sometimes you can kind of get hoodwinked into buying something that's not up to par, right? And so you kind of have to do your research and check. But yeah, like I've seen pictures of stuff be like, I bought this one and my thing exploded and my house is on fire and like everything's fine, but like it's all gone. And
it killed me and I'm a ghost and I'm writing this Amazon review from the afterlife.
Exactly. And like they'll have a picture and like their wall is like charred and stuff. So thankfully I've not had that happen. Honestly, I'm a little worried that it's going to happen in this house eventually, the house we're in, because all of our outlets are the 2-pronged outlets. They're not the 3 ones. So, I mean, having a surge protector still helps because we have an adapter thing and all of that stuff, you know, because that's what surge protectors are also for. Yeah. Never actually seen it happen, but
Well, I don't think their
I believe in
possessions were literally fried. I don't think I would go to my parents' house and things would just be charred. But yeah, it knocked out a 60-inch TV.
that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. Well, at least now, like, to buy a new TV that's that size, they can get like a nice 4K TV.
Yeah.
For $600, right?
Yeah, I think this TV was from 2014.
Okay. Man, they are gonna be living in the future. It's gonna be a smart TV. It's gonna have a Roku built in. All sorts of stuff.
It was a smart TV to begin with. But yeah, now it's going to be, just visually better. I think it's like 5 inches bigger, too. Because my dad has to outdo himself.
Gotcha, yeah. That's the thing. Like, they're like, once you have like a certain size TV, you always need to go bigger the next one that you get. It's just like, how awesome would this be if it was just like 10 inches bigger, right?
Yeah.
That's what she said too. So
there's a Weird Al song called Frank's 2000-inch TV.
I've never heard of that one.
It's a good one. Maybe it's Frank's 3. Now I need to know exactly what this number is. It's going to bother me.
3,000-inch TV.
It's either 3,000. Oh, hold on. What album is this on? Is it on Running with Scissors? No, it isn't. I'm going through my Weird Al playlist right now. No. Bad Hair Day. It's one with Jurassic Park on it. I can't find it. It's either 3,000 or 2,000. That's it. That's the answer. 2,000. It's 2,000. I found it. Frank's 2,000-inch TV. An underrated Weird Al deeper cut.
You're so 2000 and late. I'm so 3008.
We're going to get to that year, and it's going to be Fergie.
Yep.
New Year's, baby. Just Fergie.
What if
Fergie will have been dead for hundreds of years, but she'll rise again?
What if, like, it's like an Umbrella Academy situation where just on January 1st, 3008, everyone is Fergie.
Everyone is Fergie. I wouldn't mind being Fergie.
Melissa.
Yes.
Speaking of Googling things, were you done with your Weird Al?
That was it. I just wanted to mention that was a song.
There you go.
Just look it up, people.
I hadn't heard of that one.
Do a deep dive into his catalog. There's a lot of gems beyond Amish Paradise.
It's a good one, though.
That is among the best, yeah.
So last week we mentioned, you wrote down the question: what is the dumbest thing you've ever Googled? So we wanted to talk about that, but we kicked it to this week because we ran out of time last week. So Melissa, I'm assuming you have a story that inspired you to write this down.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So last week, it's middle of the week, middle of the afternoon. I'm like working here at my desk, and I hear screaming from outside.
Okay.
Like not words, and not like
outside
one
of your building, or like
yeah, that's what it's.
Or someone.
No, not outside my room. It sounded like it was maybe in another apartment or like on the sidewalk outside the building. I wasn't sure. And like it's not words, and it's not like one single piercing horror movie scream. It wasn't a scream. It was screaming. It was ah, ah, ah. And I'm freaking out. So I like take a second, like finish what I'm doing, and I put like my shoes on and my mask on, and I go outside. And it turns out it was some DoorDash delivery woman. I don't even know who she was taking food to. I don't know if
Did
they got
walk in on a dead body or something?
No, she got stung by a bee.
Oh.
she was having a panic attack out on the stairway about how she was scared she was going to go into shock. And one of my neighbors was like trying to calm her down. And he's like, no, I see where it stung you. I know it hurts. Yes. If something was going to happen, it would have happened already. Like, you're not going to go into shock.
Yeah, you're
not going to have an allergic reaction. It would have hit by now. It hurts, but you're going to be okay. And she's freaking out, and they called an ambulance. And whenever there's an ambulance, there's also a fire truck. So there's all this hubbub around for this bee. I don't know if those people ever got their DoorDash meal. I don't know who finished the assignment. But it was really distressing, and I felt bad that this all had happened while I'm just inside calmly minding my own business.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do something. And the only thing that I could think to do, because like the other neighbor like had her, like he was like he was really on top of it. I don't even know this guy, but he did a great job. Hero's medal to that guy for calming this woman down. And like the EMTs and everybody were already there. So there wasn't like a practical thing I could do. So instead I sat down, I went back inside and I sat down and I Googled how to help bees understand that stinging hurts people.
Okay.
And it's like, here are tips to deal with a bee sting. Here's first aid for a bee sting. And I'm like, that's not what I wanted. No, I want to know how to talk to a bee.
How do I communicate with the bees?
How do I say, are you having a problem? Why did you act out like this? I want to understand what your perspective is so that next time we have a more healthy way of expressing our feelings.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see. I don't even think that's all that dumb, though. Like I can understand. It's like, okay, Melissa, we get it. You want to help. You can't actually speak to the bee. But
I've tried.
But like I don't know. Like that's the thing. Like I'm not necessarily coming up with like dumb things where it's just like, well, duh, Kyle. Like,
like what?
How did you even make it past third grade?
No,
I can think of like more like sexual stuff of just like, hey, what is this acronym? What does that mean? What is this?
No. That's valid. The stuff I Google is like, the other week, I legitimately Googled how to stop people from dying. Because I wanted to do that.
What is the secret to immortality?
And exactly, all it gave me were quotes from the Sith.
Yes. Good job, Google. Funny. Yeah, I don't know. Trying to think. Like I
mostly use Google for things like, I don't know exactly what this company's website is. Like, I always forget that barnesandnoble.com is just bin.com. Like, stuff like that where I think the URL isn't exactly just the name of the company.com. I use it to double check things like that. And I use it for like weird requests. Today, I forgot Julianne Moore's name for like 2 hours. And I almost gave up and Googled who is that red-haired lady to see if it would tell me. Because I wasn't coming up with anything. And eventually I did remember on my own. I didn't have to bother Google with that. But like, those are my 2 levels. It's like, it's really abstract questions or, what's this website?
Interesting. Who is the... Okay. So I had a game when you brought this question up. It made me think of a game that another podcast that I listened to. They used to do it every now and then. We don't have the amount of people to do this game. It's you need like multiple people to make it work. So I was like, let me come up with like a modified version of this game. And so here's what I have for you. I have 10 starter questions, or like the beginning of a question. And I'm gonna have you guess. I'll type it into Google, and I will pick out 2 of the auto fill suggestions to say which one is higher up in that list.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay, so for example, you were like, I almost Googled who is that red, and for example, there is.
It stops there. It's josephmccartney.com.
Who is that red-haired feminist, or who is that red guy? Which one is higher up in the list?
Who is that red guy? Because that opens the door to so many questions. When you Google who... Yeah, but what happens when you Google who is that red guy? Who is it? Who does Google think it is?
Who is that red guy? Let's see.
Deadpool?
Charlie Adler. It has Charlie Adler for his role in Cow and Chicken. The red
my God!
thing and the red dude in Cow and Chicken.
He was the red guy.
I think his name actually is just Red Guy.
That's right. I forgot he had a name. Or a lack of name.
That's so funny. Cow and Chicken, man. What a throwback.
What a theme song.
So yeah, so you understand the game here? You have to pick which of the 2 is higher up in the list. Okay. So the first one that I wrote down is, when are girls? And let's see, let's go with...
Kyle, I think that's a complete thought on its own.
When are girls?
When am I?
Let's see. When are Girl Scout cookies available?
Mm.
And when are girls most fertile?
When are Girl Scout cookies available?
No, it is not. When are girls most fertile is the number one thing, and then it's when are girls done growing, and then the rest of them are all about Girl Scout cookies. So there you go. That's the first one. The next one is, does poop.
Does poop.
So, let's see here. Does poop float, or does poop have DNA?
Does poop have DNA?
Wrong again. Does poop float?
But you can see whether or not something floats. You can't see DNA with your own eyes.
Exactly, but it's still the thing that people Google most. Maybe they just don't want to look. They're sitting on the toilet Googling it. Jack says, does poop the sequel to Das Boot?
It does poop.
Good stuff. Okay. Number 3. Why do babies...
Ooh, okay.
Why do babies cry so much? And why do babies stare?
I bet it's why do babies stare?
Correct. Why do babies stare? It has the number 2 spot. And why do babies cry so much is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the list.
Man, it's been a long time since I've seen a baby.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. Next one, number 4. Does yelling burn calories? Does yelling at a puppy work?
I want to know if yelling burns calories. But I don't know if that's the thing most people are Googling. I would say that people are Googling, does yelling at a puppy work, to convince to their partners, hey, science says stop it.
Close, but no.
Oh.
Number 1 is, does yelling burn calories? And number 2 is, does yelling at a puppy work?
Well, does
this is a wild one.
Does yelling burn calories? You have to tell me.
I'll look that up in a sec. But this is actually a wild one. All of the things are so different. So it's, does yelling burn calories? At a puppy work? Does yelling cause stress? Affect babies? Cause a sore throat? Help stress? Help pain? Spread coronavirus? At a dog? Help? So I guess if you add the 2 together, maybe it's the most. Who knows? But then the last one on there, does yelling increase testosterone? Good stuff. Okay, does yelling burn calories? 10 surprising ways to burn calories throughout the day. Let's see if this answers.
Yell, scream, holler, wail.
Calories can you burn doing laundry? 5 per each load. Playing with the kids. Swinging for half an hour. Taking out the trash. Grocery shopping. Pushing a stroller. Carrying a small child. Walking your dog. Laughing. Sleeping. Cleaning your house. They don't have yelling. Why did this even come up in the search results then? Oh, here we go. Reddit.com. Posted by user 7.5. 2 years ago. How many calories would I burn if I screamed at the top of my lungs for an hour?
Oh, don't do that. It's not worth it.
View the entire discussion. 4 comments. You burn 1.3 calories a minute just by crying. I'd say screaming is more intense, so I'll round it up to 2 calories a minute. My guess is 120 calories in hour, but you'd probably lose your voice by the halfway mark. Someone else says, I think the important thing is we just need to cry nonstop. And then someone else writes, as it turns out, that is affected by a few different factors, such as weight, intensity, if you tear your vocal cords, and if you're screaming standing or sitting. I found a relevant.
The idea of somebody sitting and yelling is really funny.
Does poop float?
Kyle, I want to talk about yelling at a dog briefly.
Okay.
So my first boyfriend grew up in Alaska.
Okay.
Bears, moose,
blockbusters,
all kinds of wild threats out in Alaska. And he had this dog. And when he was training the dog, he wanted to make sure that he had a command to where, like, if they went out hiking in the woods and he saw, like, a moose or a bear or some other natural threat in the distance, that he could, like, call her to him and, like, they could, like, go off together. Like, like, the dog wouldn't get distracted, wouldn't go and try and protect him. He's like, I need the dog at my side. Like, how do I appropriately command her in these situations? And the trainer was telling him, you have to be really emphatic when you yell the command at the dog, like more than you would be.
Or like sit.
You have to kind of do this. Yeah, and it's like you have to kind of do this mental trick with yourself to get yourself to the point where your voice is that intense that the dog has no option but to listen to whatever it is you're saying. So he's like, the trick is that you have to yell just a curse. So, exactly. So, because it's not something you would normally do, and whenever you do curse, there's an emotion in your voice.
Yeah.
Right? So this helps amp up the call to get your dog to you. So he was telling me, like, yeah, I tried it once to make sure that it worked. We were walking out in the woods and there wasn't a bear or a moose or anything, but I still yelled, son of a bitch, at the top of my lungs.
That's
and it
great.
worked.
So
it's the idea of just wandering around in the woods yelling, son of a bitch,
son of a bitch,
screaming
son
it. This
of a bitch.
This tall, lanky man and this giant German shepherd just cussing in the woods.
That's really funny because my roommate's dog, Maddox, he likes to hang out with me in my room.
Oh.
But I'll be in there playing video games, and if I cuss because I die in the video game or something, he like looks at me and then leaves. He's just like, excuse you? All right, I'm getting out of here.
Oh my god. Your dog is my mom.
Yeah. Just like, time for me to go. He just walks off like, I see when I'm not welcome.
Is it the tone or is it the word? Like, if you try doing what I do,
it's probably the tone.
Okay, so if you just say beans,
yeah, like, oh, ding dang,
probably no,
it'll just be like,
no change, right?
What are you talking about?
Jeepers!
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I thought that was really funny, and then I'm just like, oh, Maddox, it's not at you. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. It's okay.
Come home.
It's good though. It's funny. Okay, back to our game here.
Yes.
Back from that one. What is next on our list? It does yelling. Next one. Why do my?
Why
do my nipples hurt? Why do my feet swell?
I'm always going to have to bet the bank on nipples.
Bank would be right. Why do my nipples hurt? Number
House
one.
always wins.
That's a good one. The last one on that list is also, why do my gums hurt? Next. Here we go. Speaking of dogs. Can dogs learn? Can dogs learn to fly? Can dogs learn to use the toilet?
Of course, I want to know if dogs can learn to fly. We're reading a Superman comic this week for the review show.
Yep.
Crypto the super dog is in there,
He
and
is,
I think
yeah.
he's a hero all dogs can look up to and emulate. But I imagine most people are asking, can dogs learn to use the toilet?
You'd be surprised to know that more people are trying to see if their dogs can fly.
After they've seen Crypto, I guess. Gotta get
I don't
me
know.
a Crypto.
Can dogs learn to fly? What comes up with that? The science of flying dogs. Can dogs learn to fly? I guess that's more of like a...
Wait.
Can dogs become pilots rather than like actually...
Snoopy!
Yeah. Like Snoopy. Like Snoopy.
Like, we have to be ready if the Red Baron comes back. Only a dog
Be
can take him down. That's the order of things.
Good stuff. Next one. Why does cheese...
Okay.
Why does cheese sweat? Why does cheese make me gassy?
Why does cheese sweat? I also wonder.
Yes. Why does cheese sweat is the number 2 spot. Then there's ones like, why does cheese cause constipation? Why does cheese smell like feet? Why does cheese constipate me? Why does cheese make me gassy? Good stuff. Okay, so yeah, you got that one. All right, let's see here. When are boys done growing?
Mm-hmm.
When are boys potty trained?
When are boys potty trained?
No. When are boys done growing is the first one. This one only had 4 suggestions. And two of them were, when are boysenberries in season? And when are boysenberries ripe? No one cares about boys, but everyone was like, Girl Scout cookies? When are Girl Scout cookies available?
Girl Scout cookies, boysenberries, the 2 genders.
Exactly. Okay, what's the next one here? 2 more. 2 more. Is when did Taco? And let's see here. When did Taco Bell discontinue the taco salad? When did Taco Tuesday become a thing?
When did Taco Tuesday become a thing?
Is not the one that's higher up. Most of these are Taco Bell related. When did Taco Bell open? March 21st, 1962. When did Taco Bell change their menu? When did Taco Bell originate? When did they discontinue the taco salad? When did Taco Doritos come out? When did Taco Bell change their logo? When did Taco Bell start serving breakfast? When did Taco Bell discontinue the enchilada?
Kyle, have you had the Taco Bell breakfast?
No, I haven't.
It's
didn't even
pretty
know that
good.
They did one.
They do it. You can get a breakfast crunchwrap that has hash browns in it.
Ooh.
I recommend it.
Interesting. Okay. Hash
Yeah.
browns and what? Like sausage and egg and potatoes or
Yeah,
something?
go for the... Yeah. Well, hash brown's already a potato.
Yeah, sure. You're right. Potatoes are good. Michelle Fife.
Potatoes...
Okay?
It is egg. I'm gonna Google a breakfast crunch wrap because I just want to look at it. Comes with egg.
Have you seen that meme of Wolverine from the animated series longingly looking at the picture? That's you with the I just want to look at the Taco Bell breakfast burrito.
Yeah. I get mine with I have done bacon. I've come back around to sausage recently. I got out of sausage and now I'm back in sausage.
Okay. Actually, I just bought some sausage recently. I bought myself a bunch of Eggo waffles and some little sausage links and stuff like that. And I was like,
what kind of Eggos did you get?
I got the buttermilk ones.
Nice. I have
Those are the
gotten
home style
real
ones,
into
are the good ones.
classic. I've gotten really into Eggos lately. Like I've found, I don't know, when it's like 9 p.m. and you're slightly hungry.
It's a good snack.
Right? Like I tend to always go for like a pair of Eggos. Sometimes with like a peanut butter, sometimes not. Because I tend to just get the flavored ones and that saves me the additional task of applying a condiment. And for some reason...
you still kind of need syrup, but the flavored ones, you don't need as much.
I've never syruped mine. For me, syrup was always for
really?
like a legitimate waffle. Like an Eggo isn't a separate class from waffle.
Wow.
It's its own entity.
Insulting Eggos.
No, I
see
love
how it
Eggos.
is.
I'm just saying I think about them differently. They're shallow is what it is. And I don't mean emotionally shallow.
I mean,
like
decrying the Eggo name.
Eggos, I love
you. Come to my house.
Eggos, you are worth it to me, okay? I will love you for who you truly are. Ignore her.
A woman standing in front of a frozen breakfast snack, asking it to love me.
Why are you so shallow?
The pockets in the Eggo. Shallow. A regular waffle is much deeper. And you can really pack syrup in there. The syrup would just slide off the Eggo mostly. So I'd never put syrup on them.
What if Eggos were more like Oreos and they made a whole bunch of different varieties and was just like deep dish Eggos.
Oh my god.
There
are
deeper pockets.
The thick and fluffy Eggos, those are great. Those they're more the Belgian style with the deep pockets. Those are rich Eggos.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I typically get a flavored one, and they're flavored enough that I don't need to put something on them.
Okay.
And for some reason, I can frequently find Eggos on sale at my local grocery store. And they've got a digital coupon for the Eggos, but it's only for certain varieties of Eggos, and it's always regular, the ones with Mickey Mouse on them, which are slightly smaller than a regular Eggo, so I don't buy them. Not as economical even when they are on sale. The ones that are 4 miniature
Eggo
cinnamon
minis?
French toasts.
Those ones? Yeah.
Those ones. And strawberry. Blueberries never on sale. Strawberries always on sale. So I'm just in this loop of strawberry. I could shell out the bucks for blueberry, but I just keep going for strawberry.
I can see them putting strawberry on that. The way I'm thinking is you have to put the staple in there because they know that one sells a lot. But then ones like strawberry and the mini ones probably don't sell as much. So they're just hey, let's put those on the coupon too, so we can just move them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But because I don't like fruit in my waffles and stuff like that, but I do like chocolate chips, and so
chocolate chips is good.
I would be a chocolate chip one if they had that there. Okay, last.
Okay.
Google thing.
Right.
This one is a little bit more specific. And the question begins, why do cats stare? And the rest of it goes, why do cats stare at corners? Why do cats stare at nothing?
Why do cats stare at nothing?
That would be correct. Why do cats stare at nothing is higher up in the list than why do cats stare at corners. They have why do cats stare at themselves in the mirror? Why do cats stare at you in the eyes? Why do cats stare at each other? Cats are
so
weird,
love.
Man. Did I ever tell you about the cat story that I woke up one night and there was this cat? All right, so I'm spending the night at this guy's house. I think this was in 4th grade, maybe 5th at the most. It was I think it was right after that first X-Men movie came out and the second one was about to come out.
Probably 5th grade then.
Something like that, yeah. And this was I think my first time hanging out with this kid. I had known him, and I was friends with him at school, but more so we had a mutual friend that we were both friends with, and I liked our mutual friend more than him, but I at some point was just you know what, I should probably be friends with this guy too. So I went to his house and I spent the night, and yeah, we were watching Monty Python and X-Men and stuff like that. And
what a combo.
Right? Good stuff. I think that was the first time that I saw Monty Python too. Good stuff.
What did you watch? Did you watch Holy Grail or just some assorted
Grail.
sketches?
Holy Grail, yeah.
But
so I went to bed, and I was in my little sleeping bag there on the floor because we were all in I think it was a couple of us, but we were all downstairs in his basement, and I was in my sleeping bag, and he had a black cat. For most of the night, the cat like didn't bother us, but he was downstairs with us, just kind of hanging out, stuff like that. And I, being a night owl, was the last one to fall asleep, and so I was up, just bored out of my mind. Like, I don't even have my CD player with me. I can't listen to the CD or all that stuff. So I'm just like staring up at the ceiling, and I look down and I see his cat, and I look back up, and eventually I start falling asleep. I start getting heavy-eyed. My head starts to fall to one side, and I see the cat still just sitting there. The cat's just kind of looking at me, just doing my thing. Then I remember like falling asleep and then waking back up, and the cat is like 2 feet closer to me, but still just sitting there looking at me. And then I fall asleep again, and I wake back up, and he's like 2 feet closer to me again. And then I fall asleep, and I wake back up, and he's sitting on top of my chest, just like staring at my face. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, get off of me, you damn cat. God damn. Gonna eat me or something. I don't know.
That cat had it out for you.
It really did. It was just like, I'm waiting till you fall asleep, you son of a bitch. I'm gonna get you. Wild
Kyle,
stuff.
I have an important animal story.
Yes, please. Tell me what this story is.
So the year is... It might have been 2010.
The year is 2010. In a world...
This story might be a... This story might be a decade old now.
Okay.
It's summer. I think like the week before I went back to college. So I'm just chilling out at my parents' house. I'm on my laptop. I'm on Facebook. And I see all these reports that a baboon is loose in my neighborhood.
Okay.
That evidently a baboon escaped from the zoo.
Good.
Or was being we
for
do
him.
have a sizable local zoo, but by local I mean 20 to 30 minutes away from my suburb.
Sure. That makes sense.
There ain't no way that a baboon is escaping the zoo and getting as far as Florissant before anybody alerts us or notifies.
Unless he took the bus.
Dang baboon. Right. So I don't know what the story was. Yeah, the baboon escaped from zoo. Baboon was being transported and escaped from the truck.
Sure.
Like in a crime movie? I don't know. But there's a baboon evidently loose in this like little pocket of houses, like couple minutes away from my house. And I'm like watching these updates on it all day. Like there's all these trucks out. There's animal control. There's somebody called the zoo. Like everybody's out looking for this baboon. He could be anywhere. Lock your doors. Pull down your window shades. Baboon, dangerous.
Hold on
then
a
it
sec.
turns out...
Can you actually repeat that? My headphones just spazzed out and like disconnected for a second.
Oh,
and
all I'm saying... It's not a significant joke. It's just you lock your doors, pull down the window shades.
Okay.
That baboon is dangerous. It's not content. And then it turned out, we're all waiting, looking for updates on this baboon, that it was a prank, which in hindsight, of course it was.
Sure.
There was no way a baboon was loose here in our quiet northern suburb, quite some distance away from the zoo.
So was this just like some kid that thought it would be funny
Yes.
to like give an anonymous tip to the like news station to be like, we saw a baboon in our neighborhood?
What I think it was is this was like right before I went back to college, but I think like local middle school or high school had already started back up for the semester.
Gotcha.
It was like this time, 10 years ago today, Kyle.
10 years ago to this date, there was a wild baboon loose.
So I think kids had like just gone back to school, and I think there was a girl who like she didn't want to go to class, so she just said, "There's a baboon loose." Maybe they'll make us stay home if a baboon is loose.
Did she think it was bigger? Like I mean, I guess I don't know exactly how big a baboon is, but I can imagine like if she thought it was like as big as a gorilla or something, maybe that would be more of a danger than a baboon.
I don't know.
Weird.
V, I believe that was the motive. Just I don't want to go to school. What if I call in a baboon and we have a baboon day where we all stay home? And then I think her classmates found out that she did it and teased her and she had to move schools. I don't know.
Baboon girl.
Look at the chat. Does Jack have anything to say about this? Jack also knows the story.
Right as you said that, Jack wrote in and said, "True, the student was a grade below me. We had a few classes together." Jack had a few classes with Baboon Girl. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Oh,
we mentioned,
it was a meme for like a week, and I still think about it like every August.
So we mentioned hurricanes earlier. We had a hurricane day once in elementary school where it was like, we're gonna get hit bad by this hurricane, so stay at home tomorrow. Don't come to school. And then nothing happened, and so my parents took me out to like Best Buy and Macaroni Grill and stuff like that, and it was that was it. And Barnes and Noble.
So the same Alaska boyfriend, I asked him like, so did you get snow days growing up? And he said, oh no, we knew how to deal with the snow. It was only every once in a while when it got really, really bad. But I'll tell you what we did have pretty frequently was volcano days.
Amazing.
There'd be too much ash in the air. You couldn't go to school. You had to stay inside.
That's wild. I wonder
Alaska's a different universe.
It really is. Speaking of ash in the air, I know California is often plagued by like forest fires and stuff like that, but I've been up in like Montana and Wyoming when there was like some kind of forest fire, and it definitely does affect like the air quality and visibility and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if California and stuff would have like fire days where it's like, hey, if the smoke is so bad, we'd rather you just stay home and not go outside.
Okay, on another one of the journals I work for, one of the co-editors lived in Northern California. And I'm like, hey, Jeff hasn't worked on this thing in a while. Jeff's got a couple assignments piling up. Let me email him and check in and see if he's doing okay. He's like, oh, hey, thanks for emailing me. I live in wildfire country, and in times of high wind, the electric company will purposefully cut power so that in case the wind snaps any wires, it doesn't hit a tree and catch something on fire. So he's like, I haven't been able to work because I don't have internet.
That's funny.
When I have internet again, I'll get back to manuscripts.
That's funny. That's wild, though.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. So you also put another link in here to a YouTube video. I didn't get to watch the video, but I kind of know what you're referring to.
Right? Why didn't you tell me about this?
It's not something that crossed my mind. So did you watched this whole video?
Yes.
Tell me what the story is again, because you at this point you probably know more about this than me.
So like 2 years ago, I think this was in like 2018. Maybe this was last year.
Okay.
In the last 2 or 3 years, there was a phenomenon in your own town of Richmond, Virginia, where people would wake up in the morning to find an old CRT television on their doorstep.
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
And as time went on and video doorbell services, home security services became more popular, people started catching the culprit on video. and it is a man. He's wearing this like jumpsuit,
Uh-huh.
and he has a TV set on his head. Like he's hollowed it out, and he's wearing it as a helmet. I don't know how he sees. He's just all TV.
It's probably like
videos
a glass thing, like a smoky
Oh,
glass, or like a
yeah. Oh, that makes
one-way
sense.
type of thing.
I never thought about if you were inside a TV, if you could look out.
I mean, that's how they do it in the movies and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, like the little people, they can look and see me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stare into the abyss, and the abyss stares back, right?
Ah, none of them ever liked me enough to say hi. That's disappointing.
Yeah, so like I vaguely remember this.
Yes.
It was probably one of those things that I caught like a weird glimpse of, not because I don't really pay attention to like local news and stuff like that. I feel like I saw it like on Twitter or on the internet somewhere. Cause yeah, just like this weird guy with a TV for a head leaving CRTVs at other people's doorsteps and being caught on camera doing this is just like a perfectly strange internet cryptid of like, hey, do you know about the TV Man? And you're like, what? I know about Slender Man. Like, I don't know about TV Man.
And in one of these videos, he walks up, he gets on a porch, he sets the TV down, he turns to, step down like the 2 or 3 steps off the porch, but he stops and he turns around and he like wistfully looks at the TV he set down, and then he keeps walking. It's like, oh, goodbye, friend.
Goodbye, my love.
And so this video I linked. It's like a 10 or 15 minute video about like this phenomenon.
Yeah.
And how there was this news coverage about it, like these people found a TV on their porch and they didn't ask for it. And they're kind of like, huh, a TV, weird. What are we going to do with this? But other people are like, it's a Trojan horse. We don't know what could be in this when we bring it inside. What if it's full of drugs or a bomb? And you see like the police, like they've got like a big truck. They're just loading TVs, just a pile of CRT TVs into the back of this truck.
Yeah, put them with the rest of them.
Scan it for drugs, I guess. And then one of these videos has like these teenage boys, and they're like, yeah, like putting TVs on a doorstep, that's really weird. I did a vlog where I went around and I saw all the porches where people had put TVs. Isn't that wild? And the video was like,
it was in fact not wild.
The point of the video at the end was like, it had to be that teen. That teen was almost certainly doing this as a promotional stunt for his YouTube page.
Maybe, yeah. Who knows?
Wow, they drew some connections.
That's funny though. Internet cryptids, man.
Mm-hmm.
Wild stuff.
I would be happy to have a TV head man. Seems benevolent to me.
There's a
I hope
character like that in the comic book Saga.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a robot head and a TV head. Pretty cool. And he's royalty.
Prince TV head.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. I guess the last thing I wanted to mention, some sad news that I'm kind of upset about, is that the original creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender they have left the Netflix adaptation of this. They announced the Netflix adaptation a few years ago, and of course it was the like, I don't know, last live action adaptation was not good, and then it was like, but the original creators are attached, and I was like, oh, all right, cool, that makes sense. Like if they are the ones doing it, great. Like this is gonna be phenomenal. And from the start, they were always like, yeah, we want to make sure what happened with the movie does not happen again. Like, we want these to be like non-white actors. We want this to be like still like a family show. We want it to be inspiring. We want it to be funny. We want there to be action, stuff like that. And they announced this past week that they are leaving the adaptation because Netflix has not been holding up their end of the bargain. They've been pushing for a more mature version with more love scenes and sex scenes.
What?
And they wanted to cast more white people in the show, which just... that stuff coming out like in this time when it's like, hey, we just went through this thing where it's like, hey, black voices are not getting the shine that they deserve. Like, what about all the other minorities as well? And you're saying put more white people in this? Come on, guys, we just went through this. But Netflix is still planning their adaptation, just without the original creators now. So I am super bummed.
Yeah, I'm sorry about all this.
So yeah, that sucks because the cartoon is so good. It's amazing. But like I'm on one hand though, I think this gives them the opportunity, I guess, to move on and make something else, make something new.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see something new from them. Like it's about time that we got that next show from them. So we'll see what happens, but stuff like that also does not inspire much faith in like their Cowboy Bebop adaptation and stuff like that, because they're also making a live action Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, I
adaptation.
forgot they were the ones doing that.
Yeah.
Huh.
So we'll see. We also know how their Death Note adaptation turned out. That was not very good either.
Is there something we can do to help?
How to make Netflix understand that?
Kyle, this is legitimately something I think about a lot, because when a movie distresses people, it really distresses people. And I want to know what I can do about it. Like, I felt legitimate guilt over people not liking Rise of Skywalker. And I'm like, I've been around, I've been alive, I walk around in this world, I care about people. I should have found a way to step up and do my part.
I think most of the time it's voting with your wallet, right? Support the things that you want to see more of, or are good examples of the things that you want to see more of. But I think on the opposite end of that, it's also knowing that corporations aren't your friend, and oftentimes they're run by executives, and they have to, they're all of the decisions they make are more for their investors, like the board of investors and stuff and stuff like that. It is at the end of the day a business decision, and it comes down to money, what will sell and stuff like that.
So should I become an investor and send in all these notes that say, please never worry about me?
Like, that's the thing. Like, you would think, like, our generation, like the younger end of the millennials and then, like, Gen Z and all that stuff, we hate capitalism. Like, we don't want any of that stuff. We hate these giant corporations and how they do business and stuff like that, and we really don't like playing into their system and stuff. So I would imagine things would eventually change. I think that's why when like the pandemic started and TV was like starting to shut down, like the whole TV industry and the movie industry didn't really know what to do, whereas like all of these millennials and stuff that are streaming video games on YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that, and they have their YouTube channels, like they knew what to do. Like they were like, hey, we've been here for a long time doing this, and you guys have like shunned us, being like, oh, you guys don't know real TV. And then you see the stuff that they were trying to make, and it was like, did you shoot this on a cell phone from like 2006? Like, what is wrong with it? Like, the TV stations had no idea how to do this stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just like, we could have told you this like 10 years ago, but no. So I mean, I think at the end of the day, vote with your wallet. Support the things that you want to support.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
I want everything to be worth supporting, though. How do I do that?
I don't know. I feel like that might be a little idealistic.
I'm sorry to use you as my replacement for Google,
Go for
because
it.
this is normally where I have legitimately recently Googled how to make everything better right now, how to make everything better immediately. Am I working hard enough to make things good?
You have such a good soul, Melissa.
Oh, and it always gives me stuff like ways to make yourself feel better. Light a candle, put on a face mask, call
Take a bath.
friend.
Yeah.
Like, no, whether or not I take a bath does not affect the emotional well-being of the general public.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot you can do. Just educate people, be vocal, and all of the stuff that they can do to help. Stuff like that. So I don't know. But I think that should wrap us up for this week on the Captain's Log. A little bit of housekeeping for you. If you guys did not know, we have multiple podcasts here at The Whatnots. You guys can go find out more information on our website, thewhatnots.com. Or you guys can find us on your favorite podcasting platform of choice. Just type in The Whatnots and all of our shows will pop up right there. If you like what we do, patreon.com/thewhatnots is where you can support us. And for as little as $1 a month. And then at our $3 tier, we have a bunch of exclusive content. We just put up our third and final of the Reactor Core series that we have been doing. So go check that out. Let's see. I think that's about it for exclusive content. I don't know what we're going to be up to next, but we'll have to discuss all of that stuff. Big shout out to our Patreon supporter at the $5 tier. So thank you, Sam, for helping us out, for keeping the mics on. We appreciate it a lot.
Thank you.
It really does mean a lot to us. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters as well. But yeah, I think that wraps us up for housekeeping as well. So, Melissa, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Wilkywit. That's WILKYWIT.
You can find me at YoKyleSpringer on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to stay up to date with our show, we are at The Whatnots on Twitter. Go like, share, subscribe. We're at 83 subscribers on YouTube right now, so we got one more in the bank there. Good stuff, good stuff. Still hoping to get to 100, so if you guys could help spread the word, that would be amazing. But yeah, that does it for this week of the Captain's Log. This has been episode 107. We will be back next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for checking out our podcast. We hope you enjoyed that one. Let us know in the comments down below if you guys would watch a Michelle Pfeiffer, Barney Fife, Freaky Friday situation thing going on there. Who knows? In the meantime, go subscribe to our channel, which is right up here in this corner. Go hit that button and then watch one of our other videos right down here in this corner. That would help us out a ton. We would appreciate it and love you a lot. Until then, bye.